The Rif Dimashq offensive is a Syrian army offensive in the Rif Dimashq Governorate that was launched in late June 2016, as part of the Syrian Civil War. The offensive resulted in the military's capture of parts of the eastern section of the rebel-held eastern Ghouta. The offensive, government forces capture Mayda. On the 21st of June, 102nd Brigade of the Republican Guard, backed by the Palestine Liberation Army and Hezbollah, captured al-Bahariya Hill, and soon after overran the rebel defenses at al-Bahariya, capturing the entire village. In addition to capturing al-Bahariya, the Syrian armed forces and Hezbollah also continued their advance at the Jizreen farms, where they were able to take control of several sites near the Arab houses. On the evening of the 24th of June, the army and Hezbollah entered Mayda, forcing the rebels from the northern part of the town towards the center. Several days later, government troops advanced in the al-Bahariya farms and towards the Mayda-Nashabiyah axis. On the 1st of July, the army captured the eastern part of Mayda. On the 4th of July, the military reached Mayda center, capturing the town's school and mosque. The following day, after nearly 2 weeks of fighting, the government captured Mayda. With the capture of Mayda, the army cut the rebels' main ammunition supply line for eastern Ghouta. On the 7th of July, a rebel counterattack recaptured several blocks of Mayda, but the following day the military managed to seize back all territory lost, securing Mayda once again. The troops then pushed the rebels back a few more kilometers to the west and also secured the farms and road between Mayda and al-Bahariya. Later that day, the army pushed into the village of Midyana, capturing its eastern and southern parts. On the 9th of July, the pro-opposition activist group the SOHR confirmed the army's capture of Mayda. 3 days later, the military renewed their offensive by making attempts to advance to Horsh al-Farah, reportedly capturing several farms east of the village by the 12th of July. Interlude: by the 15th of July, the government had mostly suspended their offensive in the area. 1 week later, the army launched a new assault against Horsh al-Farah, resulting in a fierce, several days-long battle. Government forces, attacking from 2 directions, first targeted the eastern and southern farms surrounding the town. Meanwhile, clashes between Jaysh al-Islam and the Al-Rahman Legion took place in Sakbar, reminiscent of the inter-rebel conflict a few months earlier. On the 23rd of July, intense airstrikes targeted several rebel-held towns in East Ghouta, while clashes between government forces and rebels occurred along the Al-Salam highway. Furthermore, a prisoner exchange between the government and Jaysh al-Islam took place, with a leading Syrian army colonel and a female Republican Guard major being freed. Renewed army advances. After capturing the surrounding farmland, the Republican Guard, backed by Hezbollah and NDF units, stormed Horsh al-Farah itself on the 26th of July, leading to heavy house-to-house fighting. After suffering numerous casualties, rebel forces finally retreated into the countryside on the 29th of July, leaving the strategically important town to the government. The fall of Horsh al-Farah served as a major morale boost for pro-government forces in East Ghouta, and allowed them to impose fire control over several important rebel-held cities in the area, such as Maydana, Horsh Nasri and Horsh Shalak. On the 31st of July, the rebels claimed they recaptured large parts of Horsh al-Farah in a rebel counterattack. However, 1 week later they stated they were still trying to regain the town. On the 1st of August, the army entered Horsh Nasri. With the potential capture of Horsh Nasri, the army would be in position to attack the hilltop of Al-Kurdi from 3 different flanks. 5 days later, the military seized the farms near Horsh Nasri and on the 9th of August took control of all or most of the town. On the 13th of August, the military took control of parts of Horsh al-Dawahira and its surrounding farms. At the same time, the army launched an assault on the strategic Al-Kurdi hill. Attempted rebel counter-attack army advances continue. On the 15th of August, Jaish al-Islam launched a counter-attack to regain Horsh Nasri, seizing several points and farms in the area of the town. The rebels renewed the counter-assault on the 20th of August and captured further positions in Horsh Nasri, but lost them later in the day. The next day, the army fully pushed the rebels out of Horsh Nasri and attacked the northern flank of Horsh Dawara. On the 22nd of August, the rebels launched an offensive on the western front lines of eastern Ghouta on a 1-kilometer front, in order to lift the pressure off the town of Daraya. However, after several hours of fighting, the rebel offensive was repelled. Following this, the Syrian army continued its advances in eastern Ghouta, storming the former Signal Army base near Al-Rayhan, and capturing the storage area of the base. Government forces also reportedly physically cut the rebel supply route between Al-Rayhan and Shifunya. Towards the end of August, the army captured Al-Rayhan's farms, threatening to encircle Al-Kurdi. Shortly after, government forces captured parts of Al-Rayhan itself, as well as Al-Rayhan Hill, placing Al-Kurdi under fire control. The army also made advances from Horsh al-Farah towards Tal Sorwan, near Al-Kurdi, eventually capturing the town.